McCarthy, along with Gary Matthews. Chris Wheeler will be here in just a little bit. Well, one thing about this season series, at least lately, is that the Mets pitching, Sarge, has been outstanding. Fortunately for the Phillies, their pitching's been pretty good, too.
Well, you're absolutely right. Santana, though, was just nails last night. But all of those guys, they seem to get up when they face the fighting fields there. Take a look at there, Mr. Dickey. You got to really stay hard on this guy. Other than that, he's going to throw the ball by you. He's not your typical knuckleball pitcher because he throws it a lot harder as he gets that double play ball there. But here's a pitch there, very hittable. That's why I said you got to stay hard on him and then make sure you crowd the plate. Take away a lot of the plate from him, you're going to have more success. He should not be able to throw that 83-mile-an-hour fastball by you, but if you don't look for it, you're not going to hit it. Now, take a look at that record there. One thing I want to change, those home runs should change today. That ERA, Tom, they've been having there, 1.43, pretty difficult right there.
Well, today will be the fourth time this year the Phillies will face a knuckleballer, and as you saw, it's the second time they will face R.A. Dickey. Now, one guy that's certainly been in a pretty good offensive slot lately has been Raul Ibanez. A 15-game hitting streak, Sarge.
Yeah, leaving that bat in the zone. Power numbers could be up maybe a little bit more, but you got to take what he's doing because he come a long way. That's leaving it in the zone as he gets it off the wall there at Florida. Here's another clutch hit, too, and he's going to leave it in the zone. That's what you have to do, not pull off if you're going to be successful. He's doing just that. There's another base hit doing the same thing. If he can do that and continue to do it, sound foundation, he's going to be fine. Look at his average there at 418, and I'm telling you, he needs them. I like those walks there. RBIs could be up a little higher, but you got to really take what he's doing.
You know, Sarge, since the All-Star break, you saw those numbers. Ibanez is in the top 5, not only in batting average, top 5 in hits, and also top 5 in on-base percentage. He's hoping that it continues this afternoon in the final game of this 3-game series. Again, it's R.A. Dickey for the Mets, and he'll be opposed by the Phillies ace, Roy Halladay, making his 24th start of the year. Well, it's about hitting right now because the home run derby is going on between the Phils alums, Mitch Williams, along the lines with Darren Dalton. The lineups and first pitch coming up next. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Bud Light, the short series between the Phillies and the New York Mets. The Fanatic has been in rare form. He was out at the hitting challenge, which took place earlier today with his big old fishing net. And the sold-out crowd is settling in Let's take a look at the Mets starting lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast. Leading it off at shortstop, Jose Reyes. Angel Pagan, the right fielder, bats second. Carlos Beltran hits third, followed by David Wright, the third baseman. Ike Davis is over at first. Fernando Martinez makes the start in left field. Josh Toley's back behind the plate. He'll hit seventh. Ruben Tejada, the second baseman, bats eighth. And batting ninth and pitching is R.A. Dickey. They will face right-hander Roy Halladay, who, Wheels, as they say, has been in a zone.
Yeah, he's really been good lately. Another guy not picking up a ton of wins, but 13 of them right now. Easily could have 17 wins this year, no doubt about it. Like Cole Hamels, a lot of times he doesn't get a whole lot of run support, but he doesn't give up much either.
First pitch of the ball game is taken down low, and it's 1 ball and no strikes.
Here you see the Southwest Airlines scouting report on, as Tom mentioned, on a roll, to say the least, in those last 3 wins.
He pitched a complete game his last time out against the Mets, and that was way back on the 1st of May. 3 hits, 6 strikeouts. But he's fallen behind 2-0 to Jose Reyes. Reyes overall hitting .278 with 7 homers and 40 RBIs. He's got a 5-game hitting streak going, but he's just 5 for 23 during that hitting streak. Lines one to right, and he's going to be aboard. Dominic Brown cuts it off, and Reyes trying for second. Here's the throw by Brown on one hop, and he is safe at second.
Well, there's all kinds of stuff going on there. Reyes hesitated, and Dominic Brown didn't throw it right away. He also had a little hitch in his delivery there, and what it resulted in was a bang-bang play, I think called correctly. It looked like he beat it. Now watch what happens with Dominic Brown here. He cuts it off. Now right there, see, he had to grip it twice. And a little bit of hesitation by Reyes coming around first base, as if he must have heard, wait a minute, I think this guy can throw, but I can really run. Watch right there. He just a little split second, and then he turns it up. Very exciting play. Unfortunately, it's a double.
Well, 22nd double of the year for Reyes, and here's Angel Pagan. Pagan overall hitting .309 with 9 homers and 40 runs batted in. And very early he shows bunt, and that's what they think of Roy Halladay and how hard it is to score runs against him.
Yeah, they're thinking about they want to get a run right out of the chute if they can, so they may have put a bunt on there, or Pagan may be doing it on his own, figuring that's the best way to get him over it.
Well, Jerry Manuel's team has had trouble with runners in scoring position this entire road trip. And there's a little floater toward right center field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Valdez gets to it quickly. Reyes is going to try to score. The throw to the plate on one hop, and he's just under the tag. A couple of close plays, but Reyes is able to get into second and then to home to give the Mets a 1-0 lead.
Well, he had great base running on that because he broke instinctively. And if that ball doesn't take that big hop from Valdez, he's got it. There he is. Wilson goes back now. He picks it up. And he sees Reyes coming, but the throw, watch how, see if you can tell how high the hop is. See it hopped so high, and by the time Snyder could get it and come down, he's safe. If that thing had stayed low, they got him at the plate.
Well, now Carlos Beltran with nobody out, and it's 1-0 New York here at the top of the first. The runner goes, the pitch is taken for a strike, and the throw never happened. 25th stolen base of the year for Pagan, and you know Schneider played for the Mets the last couple of years, so they probably figured out of the chute they try to test him right away.
Yeah, he had a great pitch to throw on right now, trying to make the transfer. I don't think he's going to get him anyway, though, because Pagan got a tremendous jump.
So 0-1 the count to Beltran. And he pops it up. Left side of the infield. Jimmy calls off Polanco. Placido Polanco had both arms up. I thought he was calling for it, but maybe he didn't see it.
I think he saw it. Well, we've gotten well into this one already, and it's time now for our Nissan keys of the game. Well, win the series. They're going to have to play from behind and score for Roy Halladay, who's already given up one and hopefully no more here in the first inning.
Oh, it's the end of the model year, and Nissan's laying it all on the line. Nissan's bottom line sales event going on now. Here's David Wright. Wright with 77 RBIs, by far that leads the Mets, and Pagan got a great jump off second. He has his second stolen base of the inning.
Yeah, he stole that on Halladay.
Not a whole lot that Schneider could do on that one.
No, plus it was an off-speed pitch. Look how he takes a quick look, but he read him. Whatever it was he thought he saw, he was right, and no chance. Now we'll play the infield back, and Mets have a chance to get a couple quick ones here using speed here in the first inning.
Which is what they did up in New York when these teams faced each other. The Mets swept the Phillies out.
Yeah. Use their speed very well. And, Reyes is always the key to them scoring runs. When he gets on base and does his thing, they'll score. When he doesn't, you get him out, you have a chance to beat them a lot easier.
It's a lot like Jimmy Rollins. The numbers are similar. When Reyes scores, the Mets are 17-4. When Rollins scores, the Phillies are 17-2.
Well, look at the two bang-bang plays he's been involved in this inning, Reyes, at second and in the plate. And he just has incredible speed.
Opposite way, little looper, Glode going back, makes the, he dropped it. The diving attempt, it's a foul ball. Pagan had broke from third just because he didn't see a signal.
Well, Pagan, they did the right thing there. They made him go back and tag up. Because if Glode catches that, he's going to do a belly whomper out there, and you may have had one of the weirdest sacrifice flies ever. Here's Ross Glode going back trying to catch it. Now, just think if he hits the ground with that ball in his glove, they may think about tagging with a runner as fast as Pagan at third base. They were going to tag and just see what happened.
Well, instead, it's a drop on the foul. It's 2-2 to right and a swing and a miss. David is down on strikes, and Schneider applies the tag. 2 outs. And Halladay is 1 out away from getting through this inning with just 1 run scoring.
And he's out there grinding right now, as only Halladay can do. And he threw a really good curveball there to David Wright.
Halladay, over his last 3 starts, has allowed 2 earned runs in 24 innings of work. I mean, that's really impressive. It's dropped his ERA, which was already good, at 2.40, down to where it sits now at 2.22 with the run scoring here in the first. And Ike Davis takes a breaking ball low. It's 1-0. Davis did not start last night's game. He came in late. Really only one of the only Mets that's hit on this road trip, and he hits one back toward the middle, off the glove of Halladay. It's going to be a base hit, and a run's going to score. It knocked the glove right off his hand. And it's a 6-game hitting streak for Davis, and it's 2-0 Mets.
Close to getting out of it with just 1, and that's a big mental lift for the New York Mets right there. And, not the Phillies get down by that, but it's so big if he could have just held it to the just 1. There's, Tom said, right back. Halladay tries to do the little backhand thing, and he actually had the ball in his glove and just knocked it right off.
Well, that'll bring Fernando Martinez to the plate. Martinez had 1 at bat last night. His numbers down in the minors: 12 homers and 33 RBIs. And a swing and a miss. And it's 0-2. Taps it foul, and he stays alive. There remains no balls and 2 strikes. Martinez last year, as we mentioned, struggled with the Mets, and his overall numbers, you can see them right there. 174 with a home run and 8 RBIs in the big leagues. It's that foul right past Razor Shines. How about since the 1st of July, Halladay's only allowed more than 1 run in a game once. That's how good he's been. Toward left center field, Jason Worth on the run, makes the grab. The side is retired finally. But the Mets do score 2. They get 3 hits. They strand 1. Middle of the first, the Mets and Jose Reyes take a 2-0 lead over the Phils. Of times during their 12-game winning streak here at Citizens Bank Park. So that's what they'll do as we head to the bottom of the first on a warm afternoon here in Philadelphia. They'll face right-hander R.A. Dickey. It's the fourth time this year the Phillies will face a knuckleballer, and it's the second time they'll face R.A. Dickey. You know, there were a lot of theories on why the Phillies fell into their, I guess it was about a 6 or 7 week offensive funk, partly because they had faced 2 knuckleballers and a couple of pitchers from Japan who hesitate, and maybe that knocked them into their funk. We'll see. R.A. Dickey's numbers this year. This is his 16th start in Wheels. He's been really good for them. Well,
he saved them. He won 6 in a row at one point. The guy came up, you know, it was a last-minute sign, and you know, came up in May and started to win for them. We saw one of those games. He's going to throw 85% knuckleballs, as we see the Southwest Airlines scouting report on him. You know, he throws a lot harder than most knuckleball pitchers, and according to the reports on him, his slow knuckleball looks like a curveball, and his harder one looks like a slider. He's not going to throw any kind of changeup, but knuckleballs, you know, are kind of like changeups.
Well, he's thrown 2 straight fastballs to Jimmy Rollins. And Jimmy swings and chops the third pitch over towards second. Ruben Tejada throws him out. 3 straight fastballs, one away. Let's take a look at the rest of the Phillies lineup, brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast. Placido Polanco's up now, followed by Ross Gload and Raul Ibanez. Jason Worth will bat 5th. Dominic Brown in right field hits 6th. And then the bottom third of Ryan Schneider, Wilson Valdez, and Roy Halladay facing R.A. Dickey. Now, there aren't too many knuckleballers in the big leagues right now. The Phillies have faced Tim Wakefield twice this year, as that ball nearly hit Polanco, but it got the home plate umpire, Jim Reynolds.
Yeah, I've totally missed it.
Which has happened a lot in this series.
And especially with that knuckleball, and he's got that huge glove. You know, the umpire, of course, depends on the catcher protecting him back there. And you know, you can say, well, he didn't throw it that hard. You know, threw it hard enough, it still hurts when you're not expecting it like that. And watch it dance away, totally misses it, and it hit him on the hand. Right on the hand. That, you know, the catcher's going to use that enormous glove to try and help him a little bit.
Talking to some of the folks downstairs about Josh Tolley, the catcher for the Mets, as that one nearly got Polanco again. It's 2-0, and the crowd reacted, although it's tough sometimes with a knuckleballer because it's difficult for them to control that pitch a lot of times.
Yeah, they'll pick up pretty soon here that he's throwing knuckleballs.
2-0 the count to Polanco. And a fastball for a strike. A lot of folks are saying, you know, we talked about Josh Tolley, how he dropped a few balls the other night on Friday. And they said, yeah, but when you see him catch the knuckleball, he doesn't drop anything.
That's what I read about him, that, you know, he tried to learn how to catch a knuckleball from this guy, thinking it may help him in the big league someday. And it has. Because guys don't want to catch knuckleballers. Why would you? Nobody wants to hit them, and they don't want to catch them.
3-1 the count to Polanco. And he whacked that pitch foul. 31 hits since the All-Star break, the most in the East and 4th most in the National League. He and Raul Ibanez have been 2 of the main reasons why the Phillies have had this resurgence that leaves them 2 games back in the National League East. Opposite way, and Ike Davis has got it. Dickey's there to cover it. 2 outs.
Well, a quick 2-0 lead. He's throwing a lot more fastballs than you're used to him throwing, and he has tremendous numbers in the first inning too. Dickey's not a guy that you think you're going to go right back out and get those runs back against in the first inning. And so far, 2 up and 2 down.
Yeah, he's thrown 7 fastballs and 2 knuckleballs to the first 2 hitters.
So much for that 85% knuckleball theory. We'll see how it turns out by the end.
Ross Gload is the hitter, and he takes a knuckleball high. Gload has 1 at bat against Dickey. It was a base hit, and he has been red hot in his starts for the Phillies, which he's had a few more lately. The Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Thais Williams of Coatesville, PA. If the Phillies hit a home run in today's ball game, then T will win $300. Over to the right side, a big hop for Davis. He'll take it to the bag himself. So 3 straight groundouts by R.A. Dickey, and he throws a 1-2-3 bottom of the first. We go to the second with the Mets on top 2-0. leads it off for the Mets against Roy Halladay. And Tolley hits the first pitch in the air to right field. Dominic Brown, sunglasses on, and makes the catch. One away. Hey, follow the Phillies on your iPhone, iPod Touch, BlackBerry, and Android phone with MLB.com At-Bat 2010. Features play-by-play video highlights and live audio broadcasts. Visit Phillies.com today on your iPhone, iPod Touch, Android, or BlackBerry for more details. There's Johan Santana, who picked up the win yesterday for the Mets. He pitched very well into the 8th inning. 7th scoreless start this season. And that was one heck of a pitcher's duel between Johan Santana and Cole Hamels.
Yep, decided on Jeff Francoeur's home run to right center field on a changeup. Hamels had such a good fastball last night, and 11 strikeouts.
His 15th career double-digit strikeout performance. A nice play by Halladay on the backhand as Tejada tries to butt his way on. 2 outs.
Roy Halladay is very, very athletic. I mean, he almost made that play in the first inning, putting the glove behind his back. It just so happened that it took the glove right off his hand, and it cost him a run. Here's Johan Santana last night. Tremendous changeup. Pitched inside a lot, too, to get hitters off the plate. You know, he's short with his fastball from what he used to be. But one thing he's not short of, between his ears. I mean, he thought his way through that game last night and fought and battled. And he, you know, as Tom said, he pitched into the 8th inning. And he can still do that. He just cannot throw his fastball the way that he used to. Whereas Hamels is going the other way now, and his fastball is back.
Yeah, did you read some of Jeff Francoeur's comments? Francoeur, after the ball game, said, you know, that the Mets were facing a Cole Hamels that they weren't used to seeing. And he had a fastball that they weren't used to seeing either. That was Dickie Bales, but was able to get the bat on the ball and pokes it foul. He said he was just looking for something out over the plate and was hoping it was a changeup. How about that?
Well, you know, we kind of talked about it at the time, and there's Cole, that when he hit a home run to right center field, Francoeur, was an accident. And he'd be the first to tell you that.
Well, Cole Hamels just watched Roy Halladay throw a 1-2-3 top of the 2nd. We go to the bottom of the 2nd. One of the hottest shows on TV is coming to MyPHL 17. Catch Jeremy Piven in the acclaimed comedy series Entourage, where the day-to-day life of a Hollywood actor is anything but ordinary. Weeknights this fall on MyPHL 17. Gorgeous afternoon here in Philadelphia. Another sold-out crowd soaking it in as the Phillies face the New York Mets in the final game of this 3-game series. As Raul Ibanez leads it off, and Ibanez, who has hit it 15 straight, fouls the first pitch back.
Fastball, knuckleball so far, and you see against R.A. Dickey, Raul does have a home run off him. Some American League matchups.
You know, but Dickey is so different now than when he was in the American League. He started throwing the knuckler when he was with the Rangers, or I should say when he was with the Twins, but You know, when a lot of these guys from the American League saw him, he was probably fastball, slider, changeup guy.
That's why his numbers weren't so hot, because he had to change. He had to do something to stay in Major League Baseball, and in his case, it was become a knuckleball pitcher.
Former #1 draft pick by the Texas Rangers.
There's reports on him. That was interesting right there. That was the harder knuckleball, and it does look a little bit like a slider. It came quick in, and the slower one looks like a curveball a little bit.
Came in again, and it's 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Whereas a Wakefield type of knuckleball, just, you know, they can hold it a certain way and it'll float all over the place, go left, right. This guy seems to have the same pattern depending on the velocity that he throws it.
Toward the right side, Tejada makes a nice play, off balance throw, 1 away. The ball got onto him pretty quick.
Well, he's playing really deep with nobody on base, and was able to cut off a lot of angle there, and then use what he obviously has. And you noticed last night is he has natural athleticism. He's got all that stuff you can't teach. And, you know, he's quick and he's athletic, and he can make a play like that.
Played a lot of shortstop, which is normally the case for some of these young middle infielders. And with 1 away, here's Jason Worth. I mentioned the Phillies have faced knuckleballer now 4 times, twice against Wakefield, twice now R.A. Dickey. And in 22 2/3 innings, the Phillies have managed 19 hits, 4 runs, and they've been struck out 11 times. And then the other thing is they've only walked 6 times. Worth sends one to the air, straight away center field. Beltran going back toward the warning track to the wall, and he runs it to the wall, and the ball is over the fence. A solo home run for Jason Worth, the towering shot, and the Phillies have cut the lead to 1.
Well, if Beltran had gone all the way to the wall, he would have caught that thing, but he was just drifting because he didn't think it was going to go that far. And now when he gets to the wall, he bangs into the wall as the ball gets there, and he doesn't catch it. That's what it looked like. Anyway, we'll see how far it's over. See, he's drifting, still drifting, and he runs into the wall. If he had gone all the way to the wall, he catches it, but he didn't know it was there. And bang, he runs into it, and the ball just goes over. And that's, I think, because it just fooled him the way it carried. It carried a lot further than he thought it was going to go.
Well, Thais Williams of Coatesville, Pennsylvania, you've just won $300 courtesy of the McDonald's Home Run Jackpot. You know, here at the ballpark, they have those code orange moments brought to you by Motrin that are up on the video board every once in a while. That would be a code orange moment, Willis.
Yeah. If you're not awake, that'll ring your bell and wake you up.
One that counts
it was
crowd.
funny. I heard Darren Dalton on with Scott Palmer doing Behind the Pinstripes, and they had that hitting contest.
Right.
And Dutch says, boy, the ball's really carrying here today.
Good scouting report.
Yeah, he knew because he hit one out. And right there, you know, if Beltran has to do that all over again, the first thing he does is run like heck to the wall and then reach up and catch the ball. But because of the fact that he's floating back for it, the wall caught him.
Brown the opposite way. Speaking of the ball catching somebody, that ball just caught David Wright, and there are 2 outs.
And David Wright was playing Dominic way off the line at third base, and that was a BB. Let's see where David's playing really like a shortstop, and that thing was small.
During the 2010 season, Turkey Hill will contribute $100 for each Phillies victory and 5 cents for each carton of Phillies Grand Slam ice cream, sold to support the Phillies youth baseball and softball programs. Here's Brian Schneider with 2 away, and he takes a fastball high. Schneider's 2 for 3 against R.A. Dickey. Spent 2 seasons with the Mets. Had a lot of injuries when he played for the Mets.
Dickey's only thrown 6 home run balls this year. Now he's over 100 innings. That's pretty impressive. for a knuckleball pitcher because that thing, when it hangs, it can go a long way.
Line drive foul. That's what we were talking about, Wheels, about the numbers the Phillies have had against knuckleballers this year against Wakefield and Dickey. They've combined to walk only 6, so they haven't caught the knuckleballer on a bad day.
That's what you have to do, and try and get some fastballs. Of course, for this guy, you'll get more fastballs anyway.
Over the knees, and it's 2-2. Well, yesterday, the Toronto Blue Jays and the Tampa Bay Devil Rays got involved in a 17-11 game. The Blue Jays hit 8 home runs, 6 against James Shields of the Rays. And he matched the record for home runs given up in a ball game that he now shares with R.A. Dickey.
Before he was a knuckleballer.
That's a good question. I think it was before he was a knuckleballer, yeah.
That's why he's a knuckleballer.
There's ball 4. The ball goes off the glove of Tolley. Schneider will get to first and stay there. 2-out walk. Well, there you go. That's what we're talking about. Wakefield 8 scoreless innings one night. Phillies did get 4 runs and a victory another night against him.
And they got all those runs in the getaway day in Boston on that Sunday afternoon. The final game, they got 4 in 1 inning off Wakefield. That was the scoring they had in that game. They won it. Hamels. It was a game. Hamels.
It was Hamels pitch, yep.
And that was one of the first times we noticed he was throwing up in the mid 90s and was sustaining it, and he has kept that.
Valdez takes a fastball for a strike, and it's 0-1. Wilson Valdez 2 for 7 on the homestand.
There's an not funny when you're down there. It's like swatting a fly. You saw Wilson Valdez just trying to time that thing, and the old thing, you see it high, let her fly, see it low, let it go. Well, this guy's a little bit different because his knuckleball moves so differently.
Little roller to the right side, and Ike Davis has made every play so far in this ball game, and the side is retired. The Phillies, though, do get a run on a long home run by Jason Worth, the center field, his 3rd homer since the 23rd of June. They hope this has gotten him cooking a little bit as we go to the 3rd. Please submit your answer on the subject line. Wheels, the question is, who was the first Mets player ever to hit 3 home runs in a game? No shot at that one?
Well, no, but I may have a shot depending on
my hint?
Yeah, on how gracious you are today. It is Sunday, and it's family day here at the ballpark.
Your birthday's tomorrow. I can give you that as a gift.
Well, it is.
Your real birthday is tomorrow.
Is that right?
Yeah, we verified it.
Oh, okay, thanks.
We go to the top of the 3rd, and Jose Reyes takes a strike. Reyes began the game with a leadoff double and scored a run. Mets scored twice in the first. They lead it 2-1. Outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Halladay began the game today. Just see Reyes' numbers. We mentioned how effective the Mets have been when he scored a run. It's a lot like Jimmy Rollins, 282 and 117 since 05. And he hits that hard diving play. Ross Glow. What a play on the backhand side.
Wow. Roy Halladay's over. He hurt himself a little bit, and Roy Halladay's over there. You all right? Thank you.
May have knocked the wind out of himself on that dive.
Man, he hit hard. That's a double for sure, and maybe a triple with Reyes. Who knows? Takes a big hop, and he just dives for that hop. And then he gets up and beats Reyes to the bag. I don't know what he did, but he was a little bit stunned as he was walking away.
Could have jolted his arm a little bit by reaching over so quickly. Here's Pagan. He singled and drove in a run his first time up, and he's behind 0-1. Halladay, with his 2 innings plus so far today, has hit 180 innings already this year.
And he only won 7 last time out. It was so hot down in Florida, they got him out of the game.
Yeah, he's on pace to eclipse his career high for a season.
And it's hot out here today. You know, the humidity, you can feel it's up a little bit, and this is not a great day to pitch.
Particularly if Darren Dalton's scouting report is right on.
Yeah, you want to keep it out of the air today, and that was pretty obvious. Beltran will tell you, man, that ball really carried.
Well, there's no rain in the area, but there are different ways to stay sheltered and stay cool.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss. That was a nasty pitch. Snyder digs it out of the dirt, and the strikeout is completed. That's the 3rd strikeout for Roy Halladay. Well, before the ball game today, the Alumni Batting Challenge took place. Dickie Knowles ripped one right down the left field line. That's fair ball, ladies and gentlemen. Dutch was there as well. He pulled one down the right field line. He still has the same swing. Maybe not the same bat speed, but how about Kevin Stocker? He stole the show. He could throw his chest out and say that he had more points than Darren Dalton and everybody else that was out there today.
Hit 3 of them.
Yes, he did, and he hit the fence a couple of times and left 2.
Pretty impressive. Stock a switch hitter, of course, when he played, but a natural right-handed hitter, obviously, and he hit right-handed today.
That's what happens, Wheels, when you keep yourself in good shape into your 40s, as Stocker looks like he has done.
Yeah, he can't be but just 40, around 40. Right?
Yeah.
Still so young.
And young looking.
Yeah. Dutch said something about, he hopes he doesn't do this ever again, and that the last swing he took was that home run. He'll remember. Kind of rank up there with Johnny Bench and Ted Williams.
I was going to say him and Ted Williams.
Yeah, Johnny Bench did that on his last at bat.
Swing and a miss. A breaking ball. Beltran is down on strikes. Back-to-back Ks for Halladay, and he is settling in. He's retired 7 straight, has 3 strikeouts during that span. Phillies trail it by 1. sign of a good time. Here we go. And by your participating Philadelphia area Chevy dealers, visit ChevyDealer.com. Sold out crowd here at Citizens Bank Park. Everybody enjoying their Sunday afternoon. We hope you're enjoying it wherever you are. Hope that Vince Raimondo and Larry Thorpe are enjoying watching the Phillies today and soaking it in as Roy Halladay leads it off. It takes a pitch on the inside corner for a strike, and it's 0-1. Halladay loops it towards second, and Tejada makes the grab. So 1 away. Well, the bottom of the third is our thirst inning, and it's brought to you by Budweiser. Budweiser, the official beer of the thirst inning. Got to use a lot of ice today. Make sure those Budweisers, those Bud Lights are kept cool.
Hot summer. One of the hottest summers in a long, long time. All throughout the country. And certainly here on the East Coast.
Well, now with 1 away, here's Jimmy Rollins. Jimmy takes a knuckleball for a strike, and it's 0-1. Jimmy loops one over the head of David Wright. That's going to wind up being 2. If Jimmy can get a good start around first, he does get a good turn around first. The throw by Martinez, nowhere near in time, and it's a 1-out double.
Well, they've hit some balls hard here today, so now they hit a little clunker like that, and Jimmy winds up with a double. You know, that's baseball. Here it is. He hits it right off the end of the bat and just bloops it out there, so he's able to get 2 out of it, hustling right out of the box.
And Jimmy safe and secure at second base, safe and secure with New York Life.
Sound like a good old-fashioned pipe organ.
Over towards shortstop. Reyes knocks it down. Polanco's going to be safe at first. What a break for the Phillies. After the double by J-Roll, Polanco pulls it towards short, and Reyes makes his 12th error of the year.
Yeah, you don't see Reyes make those kind of plays very often. All he's trying to do is just backhand and come up and use that cannon of his to get Polanco. He knows doesn't run all that well, and he just didn't catch it. And no way Jimmy Rollins can run there because the ball's hit to his left, to his right shoulder. He has to stay. And, you know, he's in perfect position, backhanded. He's got his feet set. He's going to take a little crow hop and zip 2 outs. No, didn't happen.
Now the Phillies have a chance to capitalize, trailing it by 1. And Glode takes a knuckleball outside.
This is where you really have to stay alert in the bases right now, because any time a pitch can bounce away.
And we've already seen, although they say he catches the knuckleball well, that Josh Tolley's had trouble in this series just catching the ball. That knuckleball floats in for strike 1.
Right, and it doesn't even have to be one of those ones that bounces real far away. All you got to do is read it, and you can have 2 guys move up.
Toward the hole, into left field, a base hit. Jimmy's around third, heading for home. The throw by Martinez. It is not in time. What a slide by J-Roll to the back of home. And how about Polanco going to third?
That's great base running by both of them. Polanco saw that the play was delayed right there. That Tolley wasn't paying attention after the tag, so he goes to third. But Jimmy, boy, that Martinez made some kind of throw from out there, too. I think it surprised everybody, and he had to come in with that hand and fade away and tag the plate.
Martinez had 8 outfield assists in the minor leagues this year, and I guess we understand why.
Yeah, he can really throw. I mean, it's a tremendous throw right there. And see what Jimmy has to do, fade away. Now watch what Tolley does. See, he takes a look at Jimmy, takes a look at the umpire. He's rolling around on the ground. Here comes Rollins around third. He takes one quick look at Sam Perlaza, who's coming all the way, reads the catcher, fades away, and then Polanco reads what's going on at the plate, and he moves over to third. Here he goes. Great job by Jimmy to read the catcher being out in front of the plate, and he could take the back of it.
Boy, that's a great shot right there. And see Ibanez down on one knee. He was the one who was signaling where Jimmy needed to go in order to get away from the tag. That's what the on-deck hitter has to do.
Yeah, this is what Tom's talking about down in here. There he is circling and telling him what to do. And Jimmy Rollins sees that, and he also sees where the catcher's position is. He says, I get the back of the plate, and this is going to be close.
Ibanez towards center field. Beltran going back. He's just watching. Gone! How about the way that ball carried? 3-run dead center field home run for Raul Ibanez, and the Phillies take the lead.
That's a knuckleball, and boy, he can crush that. We talk about how the ball is carrying here today. Perfect example there. If Beltran ran into a wall, then he was going to be the bricks. Because this thing carries all the way to the back. There it is, a knuckleball, started down a little bit, and he intercepted it. Who did he intercept?
5-2 Phillies. Ibanez, a 16-game hitting streak, a career high, 11 homers, and now his RBI totals up to 57. Jason hits one to center field, not deep, hit full. Beltran, here he comes. He's not going to get it. Jason's going to try to get to second. Here's the throw. It's high, and Jason's got a double.
How can you blame Beltran?
He's gunshot.
Yeah, I mean, everything that's hit out there is going back, back, back. So that one, he breaks back, and it dunks in front of him. Very good base running by Jason Worth. And 5 straight guys have reached base. This just came out of nowhere, the way that Dickey's been going. Here it is. Beltran dives for it. It's backed up nicely by Pagan there. And here is Jason going in on his belly.
And Jason safe and secure like Jimmy Rollins. Safe and secure with New York Life. Let's see if it continues with Dominic Brown.
Sounds like Phantom of the Opera in the background.
Where's Paul Richardson?
Yeah, he was really Paul.
Every time we go to a ballpark and we hear the organ, it just reminds us of the great Paul Richardson.
He did a wonderful, wonderful job all those years in the band.
1-0 the count to Dominic Brown.
Stay loose out there at second base, too. And Tolley just made a heck of a play on that first knuckleball. Jason Worth, he'll take advantage of it if it bounces away. He's been a little frisky out there lately and made some bad plays. But he can run the bases. He just had a couple of brain cramps, that's all.
Brown tries to check. They appeal. He went around and says Tim Bucky. That was more upper body than even bat, I think.
And they went on intent that time.
GG, who doesn't always say a whole lot, just said something there.
You can see why he called it.
He may have gone.
Yeah, he went.
Safe pitch. He laid off this time. 2-2.
Maybe right off the line, but not as far this time, too, because he has to be closer to third with a runner at second.
And he's in the right spot again.
Amazing. He would not have caught it last time because he was so far over. And this time he had to be further towards the bag. And Dominic Brown's wearing it out over there.
On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, the Rockies are shutting out the Pirates 6-0. That game's at the bottom of the second. But the news today out of Pittsburgh, and it just happened earlier today, Joe Kerrigan and Gary Varsho, both former Phillies coaches, have been relieved of their duties. Joe is the pitching coach and Varsh as the bench coach.
It's a little bit of a shocker because John Russell picked both those guys.
Absolutely.
They are his guys.
There's Brian Schneider. He walked his first time up.
Jason Worth dancing around out there right now. You don't really need that with 2 outs, because the baseball's dancing coming up there, and you don't need a distraction if you're a hitter. And if you're going to go, go. But this don't bounce around like that.
On the hands, that's a loop to the left, and that's going to give the Phils another run. Worth easily around third. He's going to score. RBI single for Schneider. 6-2 Phillies.
Great job by Brian Schneider right there to time that knuckleball. And a 5-run inning for the Phillies here. That run, of course, will be unearned. At least 2 unearned runs in this thing. There it is, a knuckleball. Boy, those scouting reports were really on. When you watch that slower one, it looks like a curveball. And the harder one looks a little bit like a slider. That one that Ibanez hit was a slower one, looked like a curveball in the middle of the plate down, and he hit it out to dead center.
And Valdez keeps the inning alive. A base hit to right, stopping at second. Schneider. The Phillies have batted around, and the guy that started the inning is going to get another chance. It's Roy Halladay as Dan Worthington is going to go to the phone. And there are a lot of times you usually let a knuckleballer just hang out there and see if he can find his arm slot. Well, they may be running out of time.
Well, this has not happened to R.A. Dickey this year. Look at the numbers this guy came in with this year.
Number of innings of scoring 5 or more runs, and that's more like it. Halladay, a swing and bunt. This is going to be a tough play. Dickey has it on the bare hand, and it's going to be off the glove of Davis, and the bases are loaded. Now, depending on how they score that, it'll be the second error of the inning for the Mets, or it could be just another base hit for the Phillies.
I think you got to give him a hit. That's a tough play for a pitcher. You got to go a long way for that swing and bunt. Here comes Dan Worthington. Tom just mentioned. Here it is. Then you have to throw off balance and hope your first baseman helps you. I don't, let them do it, but I think that's a hit.
I have to admit, as Dickey threw this, we've seen Ike Davis make so many good plays in this series. I was kind of surprised when he didn't make that play.
Right.
Dan Worthington out to the mound to talk to R.A. Dickey.
He could care less. Halladay could care less whether or not it's a hit or not. For an offensive player, it means a lot. But Valdez goes in and scored a hit. That's right. That was a hit.
Raul Valdez, the lefty, loosening up. Jimmy Rollins, who began this rally with a double the opposite way, gets up for a second time.
You think about Jimmy busting out of how this inning started with 1 out. He hit a little dunker down the left field line, turned into a double, and boom, they've hit him with a crooked number with a chance for more.
Knuckleball in there for a strike.
This guy, who's thrown 5 home runs all year, and he's thrown 2 in this game.
Well, how about the Phillies against the Mets the previous 5 games leading into this? Mets were 4-1. They hadn't given up a home run.
Right, and they shut the Phillies out 4 times.
Yep. Inside, 2-1. Jimmy hits it to right field. Pagan, frozen, takes a half a step back, makes the grab, and the side is retired. 11 men come to the plate in the inning for the Phillies. They got a monster home run by Raul Ibanez, who was part of a 5-run, 7-hit fray as we go to the 4th. Fourth, hey, nothing goes better with baseball than a fresh cup of coffee. Here at the Phillies, we enjoy Green Mountain K-Cup coffee, brewed fresh every cup and delivered by W.B. Mason. For a great cup of coffee, who but W.B. Mason? Now we go to the top of the fourth. Gary Matthews joins us up here in the booth. The Phillies lead it 6-2, which is good news for Roy Halladay. And also joining us here in the booth, and he got the memo. You know, we're wearing the Hawaiian shirts today, and Mike Lieberthal has the Hawaii hat and the Hawaii T-shirt. Levy, thanks for reading the memo.
Yeah. Well, I just got back from Hawaii, so it's pretty exciting to be there.
How you doing? All right?
Great. It's great to be in town. Great to see a lot of friends, and it's pretty exciting. I don't get in town very much now, so it was nice to see guys like Utley and Rollins and some of my friends here.
Well, you were introduced yesterday with the rest of the alums, and I just thought I think the whole weekend's just been great. I think it's great to see a lot of guys come back, the 93 guys, and the group guys from your era as well, as David Wright takes a fastball for a strike. I mean, is it neat to come back?
You know, I never get to see these guys. I mean, Chase Utley I haven't seen in about a year. I haven't seen Jimmy Rollins since probably about a year. I mean, last time I was here for alumni, and it's exciting to see guys that you're with every day for so many years, and then all of a sudden you're retired and it's over. You don't get to see them, and all of a sudden you come back, and it's really it's some memories that you get to share.
You got to get them on the golf course with you.
I do, but they don't have a chance with me out there. But, I get Chase out there once in a while in the offseason.
Well, it'll be great to see Chase to come back eventually. He's been running the bases a little bit, so he's getting healthier, which is a good thing. Roy Halladay with the count 1-2 to right. Takes a pitch down and away. It's 2-2.
What have you been doing with your time there, Lee?
Well, it's a good thing I love golf, and I play a lot of golf, or else I don't know what I would do. Don't tell my wife that, but, it seems like every time I leave the house now, I got a little 2-year-old who just turned 2 yesterday, Merrick, and every time I leave the house, he goes, Dad, golf? Golf again? So it's, I'd be pretty bored if I didn't have that. So.
Well, the good news is you can get him out on the golf course eventually.
Eventually, I will. I tell everybody on my course, pretty soon I'll be out there yelling at him on the range, telling him what he's doing wrong.
Well, good pitch there. Doc Payton again, and when he gets these runs, he can be awful tough. Like most good pitchers, you got to try and get them early on, and once Doc's settled down there, looking for a real good game from him, just like the rest of them.
Well, he has 5 strikeouts now. And Levy, what would it be like to catch a guy like Roy Halladay?
I watch Halladay a lot. Yeah, I do. It's funny. I'm in a fantasy league with 10 friends, and so I keep up with baseball a lot. I come home from golf during the day, and I put on my TVs at home, put on my MLB channel, and I get to watch a lot of games that Halladay throws, and he's a guy that really throws a lot of pitches. I mean, he throws that sinker on both sides of the plate, and he has that four-seamer, and he's got that nasty curveball, that nasty changeup he throws on both sides of the plate. He's just got so many pitches that he can throw over the plate.
Would he be fun to catch because of that, because he throws so many of those pitches for strikes?
Yeah, he hardly ever walks guys, and he's very competitive out there. He's just, you got so many pitches to choose from, and he throws it where you want it. So he's a great guy to work with. I'm sure we're seeing.
It doesn't shake off very much. The catcher usually calls that game, and he just throws right to the target. What kind of game plan would you have if you're hitting against a guy like Roy Halladay?
I guess I would say get him early in the count. I don't want to, it's like a Strasburg. You don't want to get behind in the count, because then you wind up chasing their nasty curveballs or sinkers off the plate, and he's tough, man. I mean, anybody that's, a guy like David Price or Strasburg or a Halladay, the top pitchers in the league. For me, I was an aggressive hitter, so I would always try to get him maybe early in the count, maybe get a better pitch to hit them. Yeah,
well, then you have to get that slider there, and that's a hard pitch to hit with that cutter. You saw that strikeout.
That's 6 strikeouts now for Halladay and 4 straight. So he is really settling in. He's retired 9 consecutive batters as Fernando Martinez is there. And he takes one to the inside corner. It's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, you score runs off of him. He seems to get angry and really starts making pitches, making hitters look foolish, off balance. And I think a lot of times that's how you can tell how a pitcher has this real good stuff that day. Hitters off balance, jamming a lot of hitters. Even in the first inning, Pagan got a jam shot.
Well, the thing about him, too, is that, he's fallen behind 3-1 here to Martinez. And, as you said, Levy, He loves to compete. Like, he's probably aggravated right now that he's fallen behind 3-1.
He does. He's like Cliff Lee. You know how upset Cliff Lee gets when he gives up a couple hits.
There's a
I
crowd
think
of
Halliday's coming the same. And you know, Halliday's one of those guys that goes out there and he gets those complete games.
Absolutely.
Like, I mean, he doesn't want to come out of that game.
He is a dying breed. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Phillies lead at 6-2. Advance by Southwest Airlines. Go to southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on. By Xfinity. It's TV, phone, and internet reinvented from Comcast. And by Honda. Look for money-saving leases and low financing at your Honda dealer. Last of the fourth, a new pitcher for the Mets, Raul Valdez, will take over for R.A. Dickey. After 4 starts against the knuckleballer, the Phillies have finally solved one. Valdez in his 31st game, 2-3, a 4.84 earned run average. The 3 knuckleballers, including Dickey before today, had an earned run average of 1.69 against the Phillies coming into this ball game, but they've knocked him out of the box after 3 innings. And Sarge, I know you have a theory on how to hit knuckleballers. The Phillies have followed it today. Levy, what about you? How do you hit one?
Well, it was pretty funny. I was talking to Schneider before the game, and he was telling me that he hadn't been in a game in about 2 weeks. Carlos Ruiz has been pretty hot, so he's been playing every game. And he was in there watching video, and he's like, what am I doing? Am I really watching this knuckleballer on video? Like, I'm going to catch something, you know? And it was just funny. But, God, as a I remember, facing Wakefield and Candiotti, and I really didn't have too much success against knuckleballers. I mean, it's almost like I'd rather catch a knuckleballer than hit against one.
Did you ever catch one?
Russ Springer.
Oh, Russ Springer. I forgot about him.
Yep. Back in the day. But thank God I didn't have that many.
Well, Polanco leads it off, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. But, Sarge, their approach was good today.
Very good. You'll notice, though, that they were hitting those balls that are up in the zone. I was surprised early on he had that much success because he doesn't have what you call a true knuckle ball. He throws his a lot harder, and he throws it up in the zone. Fastball's 83, 84. I mean, that's not a pitch that can get major league hitters out. And we talked about it on the open. The one thing I'm glad they changed was those home runs. And you see why you got to get back to the wall. Other than that, you're going to have a face full of wall like Beltran had.
Yeah, it didn't seem like Dickey had the movement that, from watching on TV the first few innings. A lot of his balls were up. It didn't look like they were really dancing around too much, and you can tell by how the catcher's kind of catching the ball. And, he's been pretty nasty, I heard, for about a month now, and he gets a lot of strikeouts, but today he didn't have it.
He had 11 wins between the big leagues, where he had 7, and the minor leagues, where he had 4. Polanco hits it in the air to left. Martinez moves over and back a few steps. And 1 away. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, bottom of the 6th, and Brandon Morrow has a no-hitter through 6 for the Jays. So after yesterday, 28 runs scored between those 2 teams. It's 1-0 Toronto. And again, it's in the bottom of the 6th. A lot of no-hitters this year in Major League Baseball. What do you think about that, Levy? I mean, are you surprised how many no-hitters there have been this year?
Yeah, I don't know what that's like. It's like playing blackjack and winning 10 hands in a row. I don't know. Maybe next year there'll be no no-hitters. And, obviously all the offense is down in Major League Baseball. I mean, see, with drug testing now, I mean, that made a big difference. And you don't got hitters, too many hitters hitting over 40 home runs anymore. So,
right.
That's a big difference. There's a lot of hard throwers out there this year, too. It seems like every time I put on the television, somebody's throwing 98 miles an hour. It's there's a lot of young kids out there that can really throw the ball.
It's not as surprising as it used to be when a Billy Wagner walked out for the first time and you saw him hit 100. It's not, or Armando Benitez. It's not as much of a surprise anymore. Right.
It just seems like a lot of the closers now are, a guy from Brian Wilson from San Francisco. He's up there at 98 every pitch. And Broxton. It just seems like there's a lot of guys. Obviously Strasburg. He's pretty amazing. So.
2-2 the count to Ross Glode with one man down here in the bottom of the fourth. And a swing and a miss, 2 away. Hey, Darren Dalton went into the Wall of Fame on Friday night. I mean, it was great to see that, and great to see a lot of the alums that came back, and a lot of the folks that were part of the Wall of Fame. I mean, it's kind of neat to see somebody who's not too far removed from the game go into the Wall of Fame.
Yeah, it is. I mean, Darren hasn't been out of the league that long, and it's pretty exciting for him. It was pretty funny to actually watch him in the home run contest today.
Yeah.
It's I don't know if he wanted to be out there, but he got one out there, and it's I don't get to see Darren very often, and he still looks the same, right? He's still in good shape, and it was pretty exciting for him. See, he had his whole family here, and to see that memorial up there.
Well, plus he was able to walk off with a home run. That was his last.
Right, the last pitch.
1-1 the count to Ibanez, who homered his last time up. Kevin Stocker was very impressive.
I told Kevin the ball was coming off his bat better than anyone out there. I was impressed. I mean, he said he hasn't swung a bat in years. Maybe it's that golf game. Maybe that golf game's kind of keeping him loose.
Muscle memory. Well, if that's the case, then you have to get out there next year.
I know. I've already been invited, so I don't know if I can get out of it now.
Got to get Sarge out there, too.
It's a little different swing when you're going out there.
I got the softball swing in. I play in my wife's co-ed league. She made me play
in.
You
really?
Yeah.
Do you bat left-handed or right-handed?
Right-handed. I keep my hat down. I'm like a ringer, I guess. They bring me in.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's what I got going for me in the off seasons now.
You guys in first place when you're the championship team. You can't lose.
Well, we started at like the D level, so we were like 12-0, and then we went up to another level, and we only won 2 games this year. So I think we're,
get back to that D level.
Yeah, we need to go back to that D level.
Or you need to get some more guys that you used to play with to be on your team.
Right. What was funny, the first game we played, Jose Canseco was playing third base. And I'm like, wait a second. I'm my little community here. What's he doing out here?
Levy, it was great seeing you, buddy.
Yeah, you too, Tom.
All right, Mike Lieberthal, our guest up here
Sarge.
in the booth. We have gone through 4 here at Citizens Bank Park with the Phillies on top 6-2. Josh Tolley leads it off here, the top of the 5th, with the Phillies leading at 6-2, and Roy Halladay all of a sudden on top of his game. He's retired 10 straight hitters. And it's 0-2 to Tolley. And Sarge, he is firing one strike after another.
Yeah, he starts to settle in for whatever reason. We talked about that after that first or second inning. Maybe they just get into a groove or get maybe a little bit more loose. Cole Hamels yesterday was great his whole time out. Only one bad pitch, and it wasn't all that bad of a pitch, to tell you the truth. That gives you an indication how strong Francoeur is.
Well, this will be the 57th pitch of the day for Halladay. And it's a foul ball. 41 strikes, 16 balls. And there you see the splits. Right side, that's going to sneak through. So a leadoff single here in the 5th by Tolley. Well, after an off day tomorrow, the Phillies will welcome in the Los Angeles Dodgers. Their only trip into Philadelphia during this regular season. 3-game series, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Get your tickets, and there are still some seats available. Get your tickets by going to Phillies.com. It's kind of interesting to see the National League West and see how things are shaping up. The Dodgers have dropped to 7 games back, but they're still 3 games over 500. And they will play later on today against the Washington Nationals. Here's Tejada with Mike Hessman on deck as a pinch hitter. There's Mike Hessman.
Hey, those Washington Nationals are going to hurt some clubs because you got to go in there and have just about your best game. They had some good hitters. Pitching is coming around.
Well, they're 6-4 in their last 10. And they have 17 more wins already at this point in the season than they had last year. Towards shortstop, that could be 2. Jimmy to second for 1. Valdez over to first. 6-4-3, and they're 2 away.
Well, I tell you, when Valdez gets that ball, he can make up whatever difference with that arm. Comes across that bag, not a natural second baseman, but a good athlete that can play all the different positions. As you look at the pitcher's best friend, 6-4-3 double play. Back in the day, Tom, they called that like ham and eggs, you know, turning them over. You know what I mean.
I got you on that.
Okay.
Well, I talked to Jimmy about this the other day, you know, because the Phillies have had 8 different double play combinations. And I said, how hard has it been? He said, well, it's not throwing the ball that's the hard thing. It's receiving the ball. And he said that Chase and Placido Polanco, are very similar with the way they throw the ball to second for a double play or a force out. He said Wilson Valdez is totally different. He said because, you know, he's a shortstop playing second. As Castillo is going to pinch hit here for the Mets at the top of the 5th. And I said, so does it take time to get used to him? And he said, well, yeah, it takes time to get used to everybody. He said it took him time to get used to Chase as a second baseman. And I said, are you used to Wilson yet? He goes, no.
Different arm angles that they throw. Some guys throw a little bit harder than others. And that is the point, because you get used to an arm angle and the toss of the second baseman.
Outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, that was exactly Jimmy's point. He said Polly and Chase would just flip it with a double play. That's how they like to do it. He said Valdez will fire it.
He can handcuff you.
Swing and a miss. Castillo's down on strike. 7 strikeouts for Halladay, and the side is retired here in the 5th. He allowed a leadoff single, but then got a 6-4-3 double play, which helps him to get through the 5th here at Citizens Bank Park. Go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Hey, today's ball game is brought to you by Miller High Life. Join us this summer and help give returning vets a piece of the high life. Go to MillerHighLife.com for details. That's a great program that has been instituted by the folks at Miller High Life. I mean, you get the tabs from your beer cans or the caps from your beer bottles and exchange them for a donation from the good folks at Miller High Life. And we go to the bottom of the 5th, and Hisanori Takahashi will take over for New York. This is his 31st game. He's been a starter, he's been a reliever, and he pitched one of the better games against the Phillies earlier this season. One of those shutouts that the Mets had put up on the board against the Phillies. And he takes over for Raul Valdez, and he's the 3rd pitcher used by Jerry Manuel in this game. And he will face Jason Worth, Dominic Brown, and Brian Schneider.
Well, Jerry Manuel, New York manager, just trying to keep it close, hope his offense can come around. That's why he's throwing a lot of the lefties. Left-handed strong lineup there for the fighting Phils.
Yeah, he has a handful of lefties out of the pen, including Takahashi. We saw Valdez and Oliver Perez, who we have not seen in this series.
Well, the game's going to have to be just about out of hand or out of pitchers to see him.
Jason Worth leads it off for the Phils. And Jason takes a fastball low. 1 ball and no strikes. Jason, a home run and a double and 2 runs scored.
Well, this is the guy you need to get hot and start to supply a little bit more power.
On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, the Braves have built a 4-1 lead over the Giants. That game's in the bottom of the 4th. Derek Lowe is pitching in the game for Atlanta. David Ross is a home run and 2 RBIs. Omar Infante has increased his hitting streak to 11 straight for Atlanta. Braves lead the division by 2 games. And the Giants lead the wild card over the Phillies and the Cardinals by a game and a half. That's why it's a double-edged sword for the Phillies. Not only if they win today and the Braves win, they stay within 2, but if they win and the Giants lose, they're within a half a game of the lead in the wild card.
Yeah, this is what you call that pennant race and starting to really heat up. And that's why that wild card was kind of implemented for teams that may not win their division, be a little bit out of it. You still have a chance to get in the postseason through the wild card. Keep a lot of interest in some of the other cities.
Jason reaches out and pokes it toward left center field. Martinez took a weird route, but still is able to make the diving grab. He was playing deep, Sarge, and he was going deep, and then all of a sudden realized, well, that's not going to be as far as I thought.
Yeah, I didn't think he had to leave his feet on this one right here. You can see that. False hustle, we'll call that, as it gets into his glove. But you can catch that, see that, just keep on going. Why do you want to dive and take a chance on an injury? You don't have to dive. You can catch that ball, and the easier you make a play, that's what you're supposed to do. Everything's not supposed to be a web jam.
Slow curve in there for a strike.
Good breaking ball.
Stayed in on that breaking pitch.
Well, he's learning, young hitter in the league. Haven't seen a lot of these major league pitchers. Breaking ball, different. One of the main difference between minor league pitchers, major league pitchers is the control and also that breaking ball.
Sarge, he's 7 for 30 so far. Dominic is in the early going. He hasn't struck out an awful lot. Is that a good sign?
Well, it is a good sign for sure. Not striking out. He's hitting some balls to left field, even though he might get jammed on it. Kind of staying through the ball, and again, he will get smarter when he knows some of these pitchers and kind of know their best stuff, what they're going to throw. You can look at those films and how they pitch all day long, but until you're up at the plate, it's just a different story because there's always different situations.
Brian Schneider waits on deck. And a called strike three. So just as we said, he hasn't struck out that much. He goes down looking for the second out.
Yeah, borderline pitch.
Oh, I mentioned the Dodgers are coming to town on Tuesday. The rest of the West we'll see later on this month, including the San Francisco Giants. Tuesday, August 17th, is part of a 3-game series. All 3 games are at 7:05. I'm sure Carlito will be here for that series. You can get your tickets by going to Phillies.com. Schneider's singled and he's walked.
Kind of a get-me-over breaking ball that he used for both left-handers, Dominic Brown and also Brian Schneider. First pitch.
One ball and 1 strike to count to Schneider. I thought it was interesting listening to Levy talk about Brian Schneider. And Schneider was looking at some film and saying, what am I doing looking at film of a knuckleball? I haven't played in 2 weeks. I just got to get up there and take some swings.
See that ball? He's throwing 83, 84. You stay back and rip it.
He hit it hard, but right at Ike Davis, and the side is retired in order for a second straight inning. So the Mets bullpen has retired the first 6 batters that they've faced. We have played 5 here at Citizens Bank Park. We come back for the 6th with Jose Reyes set to lead it off. No signs of him cooling off during the dog days of August. Jason is off and running for the final 2 months of the season, and he is connected at the plate with consistency from the heart of the Phillies lineup. There were rumors of Jason moving on last week, but he is a Philly, and a very productive one at that. And it's brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. We're here for you every step of the way. Oh, Jason Worth is having himself a pretty good day, as are the Phillies offensively. They lead at 6-2 as we go to the top of the 6th. Jose Reyes leads it off here in the top of the 6th against Roy Halladay. Halladay with 7 strikeouts so far. He's allowed 4 hits, but Sarge just 1 hit since the first.
Settling down, hitting his spots, hitting some double plays.
There's a looper down the right field line. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Reyes, he can fly. He's on his way to second. And he'll get there standing. So a leadoff double. And that's his second double of the day. Oh, in between innings, Fanatic was doing a Lady Gaga impersonation. I don't think that's an umpire, Sarge.
No, it isn't. Got some pretty good moves, though, Tom.
Hasn't been an umpire with those kind of moves since Eric Gray.
Oh, isn't that the truth?
Let's watch and listen. I'll tell you, the Fanatic's been red hot with some of those apps.
He really has.
Some youngster's going to stop Matt as he's walking through the crowd, say, "Hey, aren't you supposed to be up at third right now?"
Oh boy.
Here's Angel Pagan. The count is no balls and 1 strike to Pagan, and it's 1-1.
Pagan's had a pretty good year this year. Average has been over 300 just about the whole year. Playing good defense. He can play all the outfield positions. Pretty good base runner at times.
And we just saw something there, Sarge, which I thought was kind of interesting. Roy Halladay just asked Brian Schneider to go through the signs again on that last pitch. And Schneider was given the signs the normal way, putting down one finger after another. But then he started tapping his shin guards and his chest protector. Do they know what the secondary sign? You know,
oh, absolutely.
Does Halladay know that what the touch signs are too?
They always change the sign when there's a runner there on second base. So usually they'll go normally 1, 2, 3. A lot of times, though, in looking at them, a 3 would be a fastball. Sometimes they'll touch the knee, chest protector, where you might start at the chest protector at 1, then add on. Or they might give a sign and say 2, which would mean second sign. And they can add and subtract.
A line drive to right center field. That's going to be in for a base hit. Reyes is going to score from second. Brown bobbles, and Pagan's going to get to second. And it's now a 3-run game. They're going to score that a single, an RBI, and an error charge to Dominic Brown, his first here in the big leagues.
Yeah, I thought maybe he might have just taken his eye off of there. Give Pagan their credit. Stayed on the ball and came back out over the plate. Now he'll come in. Actually did keep it down, but he just didn't put it in the glove. Didn't land in the glove. You know, with the reputation already of his arm, not going to run on him.
Now it's just a 3-run lead for the Phillies, with nobody out here in the top of the 6th. Beltran is 0 for 2. He's popped out and struck out. And he's behind, no balls at 2 strikes. "20 pitches in the first, but since that time, he's been minimizing the number of pitches he's thrown in the game. But he has nobody out here in the 6th, and he's already thrown 9. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, Morrow's got his no-hitter through 7, and he has 14 strikeouts, too. Well, that means he's thrown a lot of pitches. He has 102 pitches through 7.
Yeah, so those guys must have been staying out late at night. Day game here today.
Seems to be a recurring theme for the Tampa Bay Rays this year, Sarge.
Oh.
Swing and a foul tip right into the glove of Schneider. That's the 8th strikeout for Roy Halladay.
Oh, this is just a good old-fashioned fastball, and that one down there, that's where Beltran really likes the ball, and you can tell he's not ready. You know, legs still got to be bothering him. He's a much better hitter than what he has been showing, but when you come off those injuries, and especially the legs, it can take your time before you get back. Simple.
Well, plus, as we said yesterday, he's wearing that big bulky brace, which he says he's used to by now, but I'm not sure how you can get used to it if you don't get out into some games.
Well, that's a real good point. Yep, that's pretty good there, because Pagan will still. He's already showed that early in the game. He'd like to get to third base there, too, with only 1 out.
David Wright has struck out twice today. And a breaking ball in there for a strike. It's 0-1. Pretty good hook.
Yeah, he doesn't like balls that are high and coming in across the plate. Ever since he's been beamed there, he has a tendency to bail on pitches, and still having one heck of a year at 294 to date with 17 home runs.
Swing and a miss, 0-2.
There's the point that I'm making. When you drop that backside, very difficult to be able to hit that pitch. That pitch there, though, all set up on that breaking ball. He can go either way he wants to get him out. Breaking ball, high fastball. Doesn't have to throw a strike, however.
Got him. Another breaking ball. 9 strikeouts for Halladay. That's 4 consecutive games in which he has struck out 9 batters.
There you Tom. What really makes him so difficult, pitcher's almost in the same kind of spot. As you see, he had no chance to hit that. Again, that setup, he's thinking maybe fastball in. You get that hook. It's about all you can do if you don't have your good balance. And David didn't have that on that particular plate appearance.
Well, that'll bring Ike Davis to the plate. Halladay came into the ball game 3rd in the league in strikeouts. He has 167 with a 9 today, and that one just goes right by his glove. But Valdez is right there, and the side is retired. So Halladay does give up a run on a single by Angel Pagan, but then a couple of strikeouts and a ground out. That's right, Lady Gaga, and the celebration continues here at Citizens Bank Park. Banana and wild berry real fruit smoothies. Try a small for just $2.29 only at McDonald's. I'm loving it. Buy the Pennsylvania Lottery. Get your game face on. Play the Pennsylvania Lottery's new Philadelphia Eagles Instant Game. You must be 18 or older to play. Please play responsibly and buy your local Dodge dealers. Last of the 6. Phillies lead at 6-3. Young or old, it doesn't get old to watch Roy Halladay pitch. Roy Halladay allowed 2 earned runs in the first inning today. And prior to that, he had allowed just 2 earned runs total in his last 5 starts here at Citizens Bank Park. He's allowed 3 runs overall, but he has struck out 9. And he has been very impressive today. He'll bat second here in the bottom of the 6th against Hisanori Takahashi, who's in his 2nd inning of relief work. And he delivers a strike. Wilson Valdez 1 for 2 today. Off speed pitch hit foul, and it's 0-2. Played on a hop by Valdez. Sarge, the Phillies updated some of their injured players today and what their status will be for the next couple of weeks. It looks like Shane Victorino is going to play some rehab games Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And if all goes well, he could rejoin the Phillies when they're in New York next Friday. That's a good sign because those obliques You know, those are bothersome, and he'll play for the Iron Pigs on Tuesday.
Well, you're right. It does take a long time for the oblique, and nothing you can do for it just about except for rest.
Slowly hit grounder towards short. Reyes charges, off balance throw, and Davis stays on the bag. One away.
Well, Ike Davis at first base showing some athleticism as he stays right on the bag.
We mentioned with Mike Lieberthal earlier today, Chase Utley was out running the bases today. And it looked pretty good with that. And then he was out catching the Frisbee. Dong Lin, the Phillies strength and conditioning coordinator, nice snag by Ut. So that's just try to keep his cardio up, keep his legs strong. The thought is that Chase will, you know, maybe play in the minors at the end of August, maybe around the 25th, and then could be activated by the 1st of September. You know, that's a quote-unquote loose plan right now, but that would be great to get him back for that stretch run with all the games against the National League East.
Yeah, it sure would be. And again, it's going to just go on how he's feeling. No, there's another injury that you just can't rush, but he'll know, though, when he's ready, because, again, you got to look at check swing, get your hand back tough, and not only that, most importantly, your timing. If there's a player, however, that can come back and get right back in it, it would be a Chase Utley.
2-2 the count to Roy Halladay with one away here in the bottom of the 6th. Well, and Ryan Howard, the swelling in his ankle is down. And he's finally off crutches, so, you know.
But we've seen with Jimmy Rollins how long an ankle can take, and the weight that Ryan Howard has that was put on that sprained ankle in the very beginning might make it a little bit longer. But again, that's basically up to him. But getting back, don't need him to steal any bases. If he's got that power stroke going, that'll be just fine.
Halladay pops it up. Left side of the infield. Reyes backpedals and makes the catch. So 2 away, and that's 8 in a row retired by the Mets bullpen. Monday, August 23rd is the start of a 4-game series against the Houston Astros here at Citizens Bank Park. 3 night games and then a day game. Thursday the 26th, it's a Modell Sporting Goods Kids Run the Bases following the ball game. You can get your tickets for all 4 of those games, the 3 games against the Dodgers, the series against the Giants, by going to Phillies.com. Top of the order, here's Jimmy, who is 1 for 3. And a hook in there for a strike. It's 0-1. That was a 66-mile-an-hour curve.
That was a get-me-over curveball that he's thrown to the 3rd hitter in a row.
Throws another one.
Now let the ball come to you. You don't have to go out to get that. Any other pitches, especially that curveball, up to the hitter to determine whether or not curveball, fastball by the spin of the ball. That will not be a hat that I'd be wearing. No, Tom.
What if you went on a safari or something?
Just threw that out there. Well, yeah. Hey, if I'm there, yeah. You know, I'm going to go with what they wear in whatever area that you're in.
That's exactly right. Over toward third, backhanded, bobbled by Wright, gets his bearings, throws to first, not in time. Jimmy's able to beat it out. That'll be his 2nd hit of the day.
Yeah, right down the line as David Wright bobbles a little bit. Had a strong arm, though, very accurate. And he got that ball to Ike Davis at first base. Ike trying to stretch as he gets out in front again on a breaking ball. There's the bobble, catches it in one hand, throws in the same motion as J-Ro just beats it out. There it is again. Now, if he catches that in fine fashion, probably would have got him because it was boom, boom, or I should say bam, bam, right there at that bag there.
Pretty good throw by Wright. Jerry Manuel came out to argue with Bill Welke, the first base umpire, about whether that throw beat Jimmy over at first. It was a very calm discussion between the two. Keeps the inning alive for Polanco, who is reached on an error by Jose Reyes. And that was one of the bigger plays of the game, because Polanco hit one to short with 1 out and Rollins at second in the third. Reyes booted it, and the Phillies went on to score 5 runs in the third. Who knows how different the inning would have been with 2 outs and a runner at second.
Well, we talk about it all the time. When the fielders are making errors, pitchers got to pitch that much more. They get that pitch count up, and it wasn't like it was a difficult play. You know, Reyes is one of those guys at shortstop. I mean, he's a flashy player, but he makes this New York team go. When he's on base, they expect to score. Pretty good range at shortstop.
Polanco pulls it right through the vacant hole at shortstop and into left field. Reyes was shaded over toward the middle a little bit. And there's the first hit of the day for Polanco, an 8-game hitting streak, and the Phillies have 2 aboard with 2 outs for Ross Glode.
Well, take a look where he is as that ball pulled right in the hole, usually a little bit further over, because he is throwing a lot of off-speed pitches. Guys will pull the ball on off-speed pitches from lefties.
Glode singled home a run back in the third. That tied the game up.
That Glode's playing some pretty good first base
Really is,
defensively.
I agree. That play made on the Reyes ground ball early in the game.
Yeah, one of the reasons Charlie probably has him in right now, not having Mike Sweeney pinch hit against the left-hander.
Better defense.
Well, playing really good defense. Sweeney's been pretty good, too.
Lifted in the air to right center field. Beltran heads over into the alleyway and makes the catch at the side. Is retired. No runs, 2 hits, 2 men left. We've completed 6 here in Philadelphia with the Phillies on top 6-3. We go to the top of the 7th inning. Roy Halladay has allowed 6 hits and 3 runs so far, facing Fernando Martinez. Halladay with 9 strikeouts this afternoon. Phillies lead at 6-3. A lot of action here at the ballpark today.
Crazy stuff, huh? Good game. Roy Halladay is had a little trouble with the top of their order, but other than that, he's really handled these guys.
Yeah, the top of the order has 4 hits.
I mean, they've done the damage. Pagan and Reyes and Pagan now, the 1-2.
Two at 2 the count to Martinez. it seemed like the double by Reyes in the 6th knocked Halladay out of his rhythm a little bit. But as he's beginning this 7th, it looks like he's found that rhythm again. And there's a looper right over the head of Globe. Broke his bat, and it's going to be a base hit for Martinez. Well, these lucky fans are today's Citizen 7. They will each receive a prize pack courtesy of Citizens Bank. Citizens Bank with the most 7-day branches in the Philadelphia area. To find a branch near you, visit citizensbank.com. Josh Tolway's the hitter. He singled his last time up, and he flied to right.
Digging every left-hander they can find it and come into this game. Brought Takahashi in, pitch a couple innings, and now they have Feliciano up. They use Valdez, but they didn't get to Ollie.
Yeah, we were talking about that. Sarge said it's going to have to be a 10-run ball game for the Mets to bring Oliver Perez into the game.
Strange situation as far as Oliver Perez goes. There's Feliciano.
Just missed off the outside corner.
The lineup was set to face a right-handed pitcher. So, you know, as soon as Dickey left the game, Jerry Manuel's been using left-handers. Makes sense.
Hit hard off the glove of Glow and into foul territory. Martinez is around second. He's going to third. He's being held up there. And they'll have runners on second and third with nobody out here in the 7th.
Game's had kind of an uneasy feeling to it. I don't know. Just, you know, they've hit Halladay a little bit here today. It's hot. Their offense is totally shut down after the big inning. And the Mets, to their credit, have stayed after it. Here's Glode made a play like this earlier. This is a screamer, and this time he doesn't make it. Goes right off his glove, and he deflects it enough that it turns into extra bases.
Well, the Phillies will play the infield back with a 3-run lead. As Ruben Tejada, the second baseman, will stand in. They've already used Castillo. And he bunts it foul. That would have been a safety squeeze because Martinez wasn't breaking.
He just bunt for a hit there is what he's doing. You know, he tries to bunt for a hit, and the base runner reads and sees what happens. If you score, fine. If not, you know, you just stay there and the bases are loaded, nobody's out. And that's something a hitter totally does on their own. Now, whether or not Jerry Manuel thought that was a good play or not, you'd have to ask him.
The other night when Castillo bunted, as they appeal that check swing, and Bill Welke says no swing. When Castillo bunted with a runner at first and was credited with the sacrifice, Jerry Manuel wasn't happy about that.
No, it was not a good play.
Fights it off, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Carter, left-handed hitter in the on-deck circle, is a pinch hitter.
There's Chris Carter. Yeah, the Mets got from the Red Sox.
I like it. You know, he just not quite right here this afternoon, and he's ticked off at himself there that he can't put this guy away.
He was right for the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. I mean, he was in an amazing groove at that point. In fact, had 5 strikeouts through those 3 innings.
Yeah, he putting them down in order. And it's hot today, you know. It's just an uncomfortable day to pitch.
And he's racking up the strikeouts, as you see there. Thought he may have gotten another one. No appeal, and it's 2-2.
And he's not chasing that curveball, which is kind of impressive for a young player like this, because that's a strikeout pitch for him there. And that's what he's trying to get here, is a strikeout.
Back toward the middle. That'll get a run home. Jimmy charges. He's got the play at first. One away. It's a 6-4 ball game.
I'll tell you what, you can see why they like this kid. 20 years old, made all the plays at second, fights off tough pitches one after another, and how they slams the rosin bag down, because that got two things done for the Mets. It got the run in, it got another runner to third with less than 2 outs for a fly ball, make it a one-run game. And, you know, they really appreciate that in the Mets tiger. That was an outstanding at-bat for an out.
Well, it's 6 RBIs now for Tejada. And here is Chris Carter, the pinch hitter. Carter overall hitting .258 with 2 homers and 13 runs batted in. Frank Catalanato was their primary pinch hitter early on this season from the left side, and Chris Carter has kind of taken over that role. Towards center field. That'll get another run home. Jason Worth with his back to the infield, heading back. He's not going to get there. One hops the top of the wall. This is going to be a 6-5 game with an RBI double by Chris Carter. And that uncomfortable feeling continues.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. You know, you see so many games, and this one just had that feel to it. Even though they gave Halladay all these runs, which normally doesn't happen for him. There's just some stuff going on where you thought these guys are just hanging around too much.
Well, Contreras is going to start to fire with one away.
And he hasn't thrown a lot of bad pitches, but there's one there. That looked like a little cutter, and it just came right back over towards the middle of the plate. Carter hit it hard. And we've certainly seen the way the ball's flying to center today.
Well, Reyes this afternoon has hit the ball hard all 3 times. He has 2 doubles and 2 runs scored. Ross Gload made a fine play back in the 3rd to rob Reyes of a possible extra base hit. One and one the count. They appeal and no swing, says Tim Welke. Reyes with good numbers with runners in scoring position, and even better numbers since the end of May. They tried to put him in the 3-hole this year, and it just didn't work out for him. He hit only 203 as the number 3 hitter, and that's when they moved him back to the leadoff spot. Now he's got the count in his favor, 3-1.
Laboring in this inning.
All 4. So there are 2 on with 1 out. That's the first walk issued by Halladay this afternoon. How about you look at some of the starts that Halladay has made? You look at the walks he's allowed. I mean, he just doesn't walk people. And he walked 1 in his last outing against the Marlins. None the time before. 1 the time before that. None, 1, 1, none, 1, none.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just he's right around the strike zone.
It's a struggle today. Happens. You know, the day that they give him runs, he's not real sharp.
Well, Rich Doobie out to the mound, have a conversation. That breaks up. Follow the team on Facebook.com/Phillies and Twitter.com/PhilaPhillies for daily status updates on everything Phillies. Conversation lingered a little bit longer as Rich Doobie went back to the dugout. Here's Pagan, 2 for 3. Couple RBIs.
And he's had good swings today. Even though he got a blooper one time and then a base hit on a fairly hard hit ball.
They work the outside corner and he gets it for a strike. That one was in a little bit more than the 2 that went to Reyes.
I don't think they were strikes, but they were close. And you know how they, of course, wanted them. Why wouldn't it? He's a pitcher. These guys have been doing a pretty good job at times of being patient too. And he's really handled Beltran and Wright in big spots today. He's just can't command his stuff today. It's a changeup that's not even close.
On the outside corner, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Goes back with the fastball again to Pagan. And Pagan has seen a few of those pitches be just off the plate, not only to Reyes, but also one to him. And he took it for strike 2.
And he's just trying to sink it out there, maybe get him to turn one over.
45,000 plus, trying to get behind their right-hander. The 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball lifted in the air, right center field. Jason Worth is over. He'll call up Dominic Brown. Carter late tag from second, but he's going nowhere. 2 outs.
He threw a curveball there and got him way out in front. A 2-2 curveball after those sinkers.
Well, as you mentioned, Wills, he's handled Beltran all day, and he finally gets Pagan.
There's the curveball, and you see him lunge and get off balance and then get any power behind it. Good pitch.
Beltran's 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. 1 ball and no strikes to him.
Just trying to make one more pitch. There's Charlie looking on. Just one more pitch and get out of this inning with a 1-run lead.
He needs last night strikes him.
Yeah, that would help. Yeah, this guy's tight, but you know they're not strikes. It just depends. Sometimes they open it up a little bit. Got a really good new supervisor now here today. Been here all weekend. Randy Marsh has been here all weekend. Been talking to him, and you know Randy will do a good job evaluating umpires. He's a good umpire himself.
Little roller foul, and it's even 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Halladay needs 1 more strike to get 1 more out and get out of the 7th inning with a 1-run lead. They're coming to their feet 1 more time.
Well, they're trying to will this out for Roy Halladay. You know, is really trying to get through this inning.
2-2 to count to Beltran. Breaking ball, swung on and missed. That's 10 strikeouts. He does get out of the inning. He strands a couple after allowing 2 runs. It's a 1-run game, but Roy Halladay limits the damage as the inning moves on. This is a heck of a breaking ball, and he's gotten Beltran all day long. Answer. Who is the first Mets player, Wheels, ever to hit 3 home runs in one game?
Well, I need a hint, an era, a position.
Well, it was the 60s.
60s.
Yeah.
Outfielder?
That's a good question. I don't know that.
You know if he was left or right-handed?
I don't know that either.
Come on.
I'm not helping you at all on this one.
You don't know this guy, huh?
I don't know this guy.
How about Wayne Garrett?
Wayne Garrett would be incorrect. That's a good guess, though. I would have guessed Dave Kingman, but that was so much later that it couldn't have really been him.
He won the 60s.
The answer, Wheels, Jim Hickman.
Oh, Jim Hickman. Okay.
September 3rd, 1965.
Big, strong, right-handed hitter.
Was he an outfielder?
Yes.
Log back on thePhillies.com.
He was a guy that wore a glove for no apparent reason. Because
he
a Michael Jackson type of
he
player.
can hit some home runs.
He couldn't play anywhere. He was an outfielder, first baseman type guy, but he could hit. He could hit with power.
You can find it if you're the winner of a Phillies prize pack. Thanks for playing Dodge Stump the Fans. Chris Carter remains in the ballgame. He's in left field. And they've moved Fernando Martinez over to right field. And they've moved Angel Pagan from right field to center field. Carlos Beltran made the last out, so that's where Pedro Feliciano will bat in the order. He's the new pitcher. 62nd game, 2-6, a 3.16 ERA, and that tells you a lot about Beltran's struggles since coming off the disabled list that he's lifted as part of a double switch.
Well, today he has 3 punch-outs, and David Wright has 3 punch-outs. There's 6 strikeouts out of the 3 and 4 holes today.
Well, this Mets bullpen, which has been much maligned since the All-Star break, has done its job today as Ibanez leads it off, and it's all lefties. Valdez, a scoreless 4th inning, and Takahashi, 2 scoreless innings in relief of R.A. Dickey, who struggled through 3. There's Dickey. 4 earned runs, 6 overall, and 8 hits. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike to Ibanez, who had a 3-run home run back in the 3rd.
Yeah, and they really haven't been needed to throw a lot of pinch hitters and stuff up there today to get right-handed hitters against these left-handers because they have the lead. And they're all still available, a full bench. Hopefully you don't need them.
Feliciano pitched in the first game of this series, and he struggled. He's really been struggling lately. In fact, he's 0-4 with an earned run average of just under 7 over his last 18 games. He was a guy that they thought for the first couple months of the season was going to be one of their all-star representatives.
Yeah, he looks like a guy who's wearing out a little bit. You know, he's pitched so many games in the last few years. Phillies see him, it seems like almost every game because of the fact that he's left-handed.
Ibanez checks his swing, and it's 2-2. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, well, no history today, just a beautifully pitched 1-hitter for Brandon Morrow, who had 17 strikeouts, and his no-hitter was broken up in the 9th inning by Evan Longoria with 2 outs. And it turned out to be an infield single for Longoria as Ibanez goes down on strikes.
That's baseball. 18-11 yesterday, 1-0 today. Same 2 teams.
Tampa had been no-hit 3 times since July of last year, and this was almost the 4th.
Amazing as good a team as they are. I mean, they're up there with what, the second best record in baseball, and they had a tough weekend.
Well, the record for strikeouts in a game for a Blue Jay was 18 by Roger Clemens in '98. And the only no-hitter thrown by a Blue Jay was by Wheels?
Dave Steve.
Dave Steve.
And he had a couple 1-hitters too, I think.
Ryan Matson's up and loosening in the pen. He'll probably pitch the 8th for the Phillies.
Was that the stump the expert? Oh, no.
Yeah, that was extra credit.
Yeah. Thank you.
There you go, Wheels.
Appreciate it.
Slider sweeps in for a strike.
Well, the Phillies really need to get after somebody here and tack something on, because that's it for Roy Halladay. You talk about grinding it out through that 7th inning and got out of it with a 1-run lead. But they'll go to Madsen and Lidge is the game plan right now for 6 outs, they hope. That's right.
And Brad sitting behind him on the top of that bench. Chad Durbin, David Herndon. 1-2 the count to Jason. Back toward the middle, and Reyes can't get it. A base hit for Worth. He takes a wide turnaround first and holds up there. So with 1 out, we'll have a pinch hitter. Ben Francisco's due up. Hey, the Florida Marlins' next trip to Philadelphia. It could be a big one, the way the National League East is shaping up. Monday, September 6th, is a day-night doubleheader. The first game, the rescheduled game of a rainout from earlier this year, will begin at 1:05. The night game is at 7:05. That's a Hatfield $1 dog night. Get your tickets for all 4 of those games by going to Phillies.com. And Jerry Manuel is out to the mound. That's going to be it for Pedro Feliciano, with Francisco announced as a pinch hitter for Dominic Brown. And they will go to the right-hander. So we've got a pitching change. Manny Acosta is scheduled to come in for the Mets with a runner at first and 1 man down. And Mike Missinelli. They've got all of today's highlights and insights and much more. It's the Xfinity Phillies postgame show right here after the game on MyPHL 17. Ben Francisco had been introduced as a pinch hitter. He's right-handed, so Jerry Manuel brings in the right-hander Manny Acosta to his 21st game. 2-1, a 2.37 ERA. He's allowed 2 of the 3 inherited runners to score. Or he allowed 2 of the 3 inherited runners to score when he came in the first game of this series. And he's got a runner at first with 1 out. See, Ben's had a good run since the 24th of July because he's getting play a little bit more. His timing's down. And he hits a fastball right toward third. That could be 2. There's 1. There's 2. 5-4-3 around the horn. I wasn't sure when that ball ate up David Wright whether he would be able to get the throw to second in time to then get the exchange over to first, but he does, and the side is retired. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left because of this double play. Started by David Wright and finished off by Ike Davis. perfect time to get yours during Toyota's National Clearance Event. Buy WB Mason. Who but WB Mason for amazingly low office product prices. Buy Southwest Airlines. Go to southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on. And buy Suzuki, a new Kizashi midsize sports sedan. Suzuki, the power of engineering. Then Francisco, who just hit into that double play, stays in the game. He's in right field. Carlos Ruiz comes into the ball game to catch. And the new pitcher, Ryan Matson, his 25th game overall, 4-1, an ERA of 4.18. Phillies bullpen is going to be asked to get 6 outs with a 1-run lead. At least that's the way things stand right now. And Matson will face David Wright, Ike Davis, and Fernando Martinez. See Wright's numbers against Ryan during their matchups, 24 at-bats. Wright today is 0 for 3.
Matson's happy holiday's gone. Or, I mean, Wright's happy holiday's gone.
Halliday did a great job backing David Wright off the plate with his pitches today, and then fired fastballs to the outside part of the plate.
And curveballs to strike him out.
Same formula, but Matson misses off the outside corner. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Toward left field, Ibanez on the run. He comes in to make the catch.
Well, they had that no doubles defense working out there, and he was really deep. So as a result, he had to come on hard to catch it.
I think it fooled him too, as we've always talked about, Wheels, with all these guys that are home run hitters. The way they swing. Sometimes when the ball gets down into the hands, you get fooled initially.
Yeah, they can't. They really can't hear it out there the way we're lucky enough to be able to hear it with the crowd mics and all. And, a lot of times they don't know the bat's broken or they hit it on the label or something. All they see is that big swing.
Ike Davis is 1 for 3 today. He had an infield single that turned out to be an RBI hit his first time up. And a changeup outside, 1-0.
This guy makes contact. He's a pretty good looking hitter. Looks like he bails and wails too. He opens up, but everything seems to stay back. Everything, it looks like his body's going forward all the time, but his hands really stay back, and he's quick. And obviously strong. Some of the home runs he hits are long ones.
Yeah, including that first one that he hit at Citi Field. I mean, that's a big place, and he crushed it.
He just looks like you should be able to fool him with slow stuff.
Pops it up toward left, not deep. Out goes Jimmy, in comes Raul, and Ibanez makes the catch. 2 away here in the 8th. Matson with 26 strikeouts in 24 1/3 innings. He has been during his career as a relief pitcher, a guy that would average a little more than 1 strikeout per inning pitched. He's done a nice job of working ahead to 2 of the first 3 hitters. Good changeup. Martinez way out front. It's 0-2. To the count here at the top of the 8th. He was hoping he would go fishing there, and it's 1-2. Got it. Boy, his off-speed stuff was nasty in this inning. Picks up the strikeout, a couple of flyouts, and the side is retired in order here at the top of the 8th. So the bullpen gets 3 of the 6 outs they need here in the 8th. Ryan Matson gets Martinez on a nasty changeup. you can play and get instruction from guys like Mitch Williams, Greg Lazinski, Jim Eisenreich, Mickey Morandini, and Larry Anderson. It's from the 19th to the 23rd, 2011 in January down in Clearwater, Florida. Again, 610-520-3400.
Well, those guys who are here this weekend will be at that.
And they were talking about that, too. Carlos Ruiz bats for the first time against Manny Acosta. He came on to take over defensively for Brian Schneider. Carlos pops it back as the bat goes flying.
Luckily, it just hit the facing of the dugout down there, I think.
I lost it.
It went down to the third baseline.
Carlos Beltran's cleaning things up. And Mort will take it up to the stairs and decide whether Ruiz wants it.
Here it comes. It went in the dugout.
What happens there, Wheels? If Ruiz doesn't want it back, does Beltran get to keep it?
Get it signed. Say to Carlos, at least you weren't calling all those breaking balls on me today. That was Brian Schneider. And Roy Halladay did a great job with Beltran and Wright.
And that turns out to be big because Pagan and Reyes were so good today.
Yeah, and that Tolley makes contact. That catcher, he's not going to hit the ball in the ballpark, but he's hard to strike out. There's David Wright, who struggled here today.
Swing and a miss. The count is 2 balls and 2 strikes to Ruiz. Beltran, Wright, and Davis 1 for 12 this afternoon combined.
Yeah, and the one hit was the one off Roy's glove in the first inning by Ike Davis.
On the outside corner, and Ruiz is down looking. Ball's outside.
Yeah, you know, all of a sudden there's a corner. You know, I've been talking about Reynolds today and just, okay, you got to throw it over the plate for it to be a strike. Roy Halladay knows that. You know, he wasn't going to expand the plate at all. And then all of a sudden in the 8th inning, out of no reason, he expands the plate on a guy.
Well, here's Valdez with 1 away. Greg Dobbs has come out of the on-deck circle with the Phillies, and Valdez hits it right up the middle, a base hit. That's his second hit of the afternoon. Let's see if Dobbs can get something against Acosta. Boy, Greg has really struggled in this role as a pinch hitter this year. Three for 37. Boy, that is so unlike Greg Dobbs. One of the 3 a home run. He's walked 4 times, 3 runs batted in. Phillies have 12 hits this afternoon, 6 runs on 12 hits. Valdez leads off first. And it's 1 ball and no strikes. You know, you see those numbers, 0 for his last 16, his last 8 games. He had really started to put together some pretty good at-bats, too.
Yeah. He was getting to play a little bit and swinging the bat better.
Toward first base, Davis has got it. There's 1 at second. Can they get 2? And Davis can't keep his foot on the bag. Bill Welke and Davis having a conversation about it. I thought his foot was off the bag on that play.
Yeah, he thinks he got it, obviously, from to react that way, and that'll bring Jerry Manuel out of the dugout. Greg Dobbs trying to do the right thing there, and that's pull the ball and hit it in the hole, get a first and third, but he hits it right at Davis. Now we'll take a look. He does. Boy, this guy can throw really well. You know, he gets it down there, a lot on it, leads him. Here's a throw back. See, he thinks his toe caught the bag and
on the way down.
Yeah, and it's hidden on that replay. See if we can see here.
See, I think he thinks he still had it, a piece of the bag, as he reached up and made that catch.
That's so close.
You don't know if there was a little bit of daylight.
Or when was the ball in his glove
right.
when the daylight occurred? You know, but Bill Welke says it was off, and that's all that matters in the innings. Inning continues. So we talk about all the time with how good these guys are out there, and you know it happens. They miss plays. But, you know, we're watching it from all those angles, slow it down, and still don't know. And they got one shot at it.
Well, 2 outs. Here's Jimmy Rollins, and he takes a pitch low. Now, what we did see also with that replay was how Wilson Valdez went in at Jose Reyes in second, and that may have caused Reyes to throw that ball high.
It did. I don't think there's any doubt. You see Valdez go in here right now, and he goes after Reyes legally, and
Dobbs is going on that pitch, and he is a dead duck at second. I don't know if somebody missed a sign or if Greg Dobbs was just trying to surprise the Mets and Manny Acosta. So Jimmy Rollins is left with the bat in his hands at the plate as Dobbs is thrown out trying to steal. We go to the 9th inning. The Phillies lead it by 1. It's time for Brad Lidge. Into the ball game. His 29th game, 1-1, a 4.81 ERA, and Brad is hoping for a 1-2-3 top of the 9th. It would be the 5th one if he's able to do it. Every time the Phillies retire the opposing team in order, Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by the Xfinity Triple Play, your complete lineup for digital TV, high-speed internet, and home phone. So we go to the top of the 9th. It'll be the bottom of the order due up against Lidge. Toley, Tejada, and Chris Carter, who came on as a pinch hitter and remained in the ball game earlier.
They'll go left, right, left, and then Reyes would be 4th.
Toley has 2 hits today, a double and a run scored. He singled back in the 5th.
3 players off their bench are all right-handed. Probably no moves coming.
First pitch, a fastball outside. It's 1-0. Lidge has converted 44 of the 47 save opportunities here at this ballpark. He picked up a save in the first game of this series. He had to face just one batter. And he's having a little trouble with the strike zone with these first 2 pitches.
This Toley, he's a good-looking hitter. He doesn't swing at bad balls. He doesn't swing and miss that much. He's a perfect leadoff guy in this situation for them, even though he's a catcher. Chokes up. He's going to stand there, you know, until he got 1 strike. Because this guy's not afraid to hit with 2 strikes.
You kind of saw it with his body language that he was taken until Brad threw one over. 2-1 the count. The infield back. Here's the pitch. Line drive towards center field. That's going to drop in for a base hit.
He's a good hitter. The more you watch him, chokes up.
Well, now Lidge will have to work from the stretch with nobody out.
Yeah, and you don't have a guy necessarily we would think about stealing, but you figure they're going to try and bunt here with Tejada, who has been a very, very sound fundamental player in the little bit we've seen of him.
0 for 3 today, but he has an RBI and a ground out.
Nope. Oh, there it is.
He squared late, and it's 1 ball and no strikes.
It had to be a bunt situation with these 2 left-handed hitters coming up.
Now the Phillies have the 2nd best winning percentage in 1-run games in the National League. You see the average. The National League average is under 500. Phillies are 17 and 11. Padres have 21 wins in 1-run games. Well, Brandon Morrow couldn't get the no-hitter for the Blue Jays, but Travis Wood is trying for the Reds. That one's got to the bottom of the 6th. It's 7-0 Cincinnati. Wood against the Phillies, if you recall, threw that 1 hitter over 9 innings.
8 perfect innings.
Yep. He had 8 strikeouts that night. 2-0 the count to Tejada. And he takes a strike. It's 2-1.
He didn't take the bunt off either. And, you know, he didn't think that was a strike, so he took it. It was close. Let's see what Jerry Manuel does here, how much he really wants to bunt. You know, he's in a situation. This is a 20-year-old up there. Sometimes they'll take it off 2-1, play hit and run, or just see if he can make contact.
Pulled the bat head back and took that one on the outside corner. It's 2-2. Brad did not throw him an easy pitch there to Buck. At least in his eyes, he probably thought it was high and it broke over the strike zone.
He actually threw him a breaking ball there. 2-1 and got it over because you said he pulled the bat back. He did not offer it that.
2-2 the count with nobody out here at the top of the ninth. That was a defensive swing right there.
And he had a hanger too. Watch. Oh boy.
Ole leads off first. Runner goes. Pitch is hit toward first. And Tolley will be at second with 1 out.
Yeah, it was like a bunt. They got the result they wanted on that at bat.
Well, they got a runner in scoring position now with Chris Carter due up. Carter doubled his last time up as a pinch hitter. So Tejada will be congratulated by his teammates.
Probably going to bring a runner out now for. Maybe not. I thought they might bring a runner out for Tolley.
Well, they don't have the fastest guys on the bench.
No,
I mean, Francoeur, I guess, would be the fastest of the 3. And they could use a pitcher.
They're not going to do it. White Carter was taking his time coming up there. I thought they were bringing somebody out, but all he was doing was staring down for a sign.
Inside, 1 ball and no strikes. Just wants the perfect view of the next pitch from Brad Lidge. He's hoping it's an out. It's a slider, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Chris Carter was saying the other day when the media was roaming around the clubhouse, the New York clubhouse, we have to win 2 of 3 in order to feel like we still have an opportunity. Phillies kind of feel that way with the rest of the season with all the series they have, is to win every series. Outside, 2-1. It's even now, 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Mets have not won a road series this year against a National League team. And the Phillies are hoping to keep it that way. That's been one of the issues that Jerry Manuel's team has had to deal with. The Phillies have played well at home. The Mets have played well at home. The Phillies have played okay on the road and better lately. And the Mets have not played well on the road. Lidge has got the count even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Grounded toward first. That's a fair ball. Glow takes it to the bag. 2 away. Over to third goes Tolley. And now Lidge needs just 1 out.
Tough out with this guy.
And Reyes, who has been on base 3 times, is due up.
And he's throwing a lot of sliders. Has to stay committed to it if that's what he wants. And Carlos Ruiz will call it and block it, or do his best to block it. One of the reasons why Ruiz has been so good back there with Lidge.
2 for 6 against Lidge. I remember looking at that the other day, and I was surprised that it's that few at bats against Brad Lidge for Reyes.
It's been hurt so much.
Yep.
The last couple of years.
Polanco's in at third. And a fastball on the inside corner for strike 1.
Reyes says nope. So the infielders are back. That's the problem with Reyes. You don't want him back that far, but yet, you don't want a hit to go through and then him to get on, steal second. So you give up, you worry about a dribbler here.
Just missed. 1-1.
I don't think he would bunt. It's just so risky if you end the game that way, and you're a hero if you don't. But they don't want to play as deep as they are right now. He misses with that.
Carlos wanted it even up more.
Well, he'll chase up there. That was the idea.
Slider in the air, right center field. Jason Worth over into the alleyway. He's got a beat on it. Makes the catch, and the Phillies have taken 2 of 3 from the Mets as they hang on for a 1-run victory. Brad Lidge records the save with a runner at third. And the Phillies fans can say goodbye to the Mets fans one more time. And do so feeling good about themselves because of a quick outburst early on against R.A. Dickey when they scored 5 runs in the third. Jason Worth, our Chevrolet player of the game, 3 for 4, a home run, a double, 2 runs scored, and he made the final out. And the Phillies are back to 13 games over 500. Our W. Mason delivering the ball game. Will, this was a long one.
Yeah, Tom mentioned that 5-run inning, and here is the big part of that, a 3-run blast of that knuckleball from Dickey. He's backing up home plate. He's going to have to back up the bricks on that one. That was a long one off the center field wall. And, that gave the Phillies what seemed like a fairly comfortable lead at the point, but that was a heck of a ball game today, and that's our W.B. Mason delivery of the game.
Yeah, Roy Halladay had the 4-run lead to work with, but he left after 7 with it being just a 1-run lead. He gets the win. It seems only appropriate that he could finally get a win as the Phillies scored some runs. He's now 14-8. And as we said, Raul Ibanez had the big swing, and he's down on the field with Sarge. Sarge, take it away.
Hey, guys, thanks a lot. Hey, Raul, I see you got your bats up here. Not trusting anybody with them. Congratulations, 16-game hitting streak. More importantly, 3-run bomb. Tell me about it.
Thank you. I was just trying to get the guy in from third. We had first and third, 1 out, and not trying to do too much, put an easy swing on the ball. And when I hit it, I knew I got the guy in. I just didn't know where it went. So it worked out well for us.
Now, what is the difference, you think, Raul, between the beginning of the season, the second half of the season, hitting over 400 with runners in scoring position? A little bit more relaxed, you think, or no?
Yeah, just swinging easier, trying to do less. And, in this game, Sarge, less is more. Just trying to put a nice, easy stroke on the ball and not trying to do too much.
Last question against Dickey today, knuckleballer. What was the game plan?
You have your work cut out for you. It's a knuckleball, and he throws a really hard knuckleball. And I think the game plan was not try to do too much. The tendency, is when you see it floating up there, you overswing. And I think, as a team, we tried to just play pepper with it, and it worked out for us.
Well, congratulations, and congratulations again on that 16-game hitting streak, longest in your career. And again, success again, and hopefully we'll have you out here again, and I'm sure we will.
Thanks.
Guys, back to you.
All right, Sarge, thank you very much. Raul Ibanez, the big swing. Brad Lynch, his 4th straight save. He's retired 13 of the last 15 batters he's faced. The Phillies win it by 1.